welcome to our 2023 Sunseeker 3050 SF. Starting right kind of in the back corner here, right in the top there, you got your TV and satellite inlet. Coax cable plugs into there, fires up at your TV location. Right underneath it is your power inlet. So your shore cord's gonna have a little notch just like that in the bottom corner. Lines up with that notch there. Press those in together and a little 1/8 turn will lock it into place. Then you get the threaded collar in the back there to really thread it down and lock it down all the way. Right here you'll find one end of your storage compartment. So inside of here is where you're going to find your shore cords. Of course, same kind of connection there. 30 amp end on it. Most campsites have that. You can just plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter. So if you're looking to plug in at home into your standard household outlet, you got the power to do so. Inside of here you'll also find your water hose as well as a sewer hose. And the storage compartment itself does see straight through to the other side. Inside of all of our little storage compartments, you'll notice these little black caps there. If you just kind of unscrew those, any sort of moisture that collects in here, you can drain it on out. We'll step forward and we'll get your sewer system. This little clip over on the side here just holds it open for you. If you were to have this slide out open, you of course cannot use that. So just gotta make sure that slide's closed. Inside here, you're gonna find an exterior shower, so hot and cold water, standard 3-foot hose, pretty standard head. Right beside that, you're going to find your black tank flush valve. So you may notice over time after having gone and dumped your black tank, your monitor panel is still reading 1/3 or 2/3, whatever it may be. Typically, it's just some debris inside of your tank hanging between the probes causing that misread. So what you'll do is just take off that plug there, plug your water into there, turn on the water. That'll flush out that tank and remove any sort of debris that could be causing your issue. When you're doing that, you want to make sure that your drain tanks are open. So these are your drain valves right down here. So on the left there, we get your black. On the right, you get your gray. Gray tanks, of course, for your gray valves, of course, for your gray tank. Gray tank is going to be filled from your sinks as well as your shower. So typically cleaner water, you want to dump that last. Black is going to be your toilet. On the right side here, you've got your city water connection. So same sort of idea. You're just going to plug your water hose into there, turn on the water, and that'll just pressurize the water lines throughout the unit. Kind of just this open storage back here. I will just point out that little Schrader valve there. So that's going to be for your airbags in the back here. So if you've got it fully loaded or if you're towing something behind you, you've noticed that your suspension feeling a little bit soft, you can just air those guys up, kind of bring your level back up. Fuel inlet right there as well. Kind of just big open storage right here. A little garbage bin in here. So that is of course accessible from inside the unit. More open storage. In front here, you've got your generator. So that'll just pop on open. I don't have my keys on me today, but basically just that little lock there flips on open. You have a little service port, has 2 kind of clips on it, just like that there. You just kind of undo those, you can pull that out of the way. And then you'll notice a little switch kind of in the bottom left corner here. Works the exact same as the switch we have inside, so I'll show you that once we get there. That of course is the exhaust for the generators. Of course, just being mindful of that. You don't want to be stood by that or leaving anything by that. It will get hot. Around to the front of the unit, you can see your 2 entrances there, of course. If you're familiar with Ford at all, you're basically just driving any one of their trucks. On this side here, you'll see your 2 exterior speakers across the top of there. In the center is your porch light. This bin right here, if we open that up, that is your TV. It is a Bluetooth TV, so you can kind of hook your phone up to it as well. And then of course, just works as a TV should. Right underneath it, you get your propane access. So we pop that on open. You get your level gauge on the left side here. In the center is your valve itself. So you're just going to turn that to open it up. And whenever you're fueling up, you just want to make sure that it's turned off. Any sort of pilot lights turned up or turned off, sorry. Throughout the unit, you will notice those little black kind of cameras there, kind of in the front and the rear, both sides. Those are just your blind spot monitors. Storage bin right here. Hot water tank here. So that little keyway, you're going to lift that up, flip it on over, and you can pop it on out of there. Just the 2 little pins in the bottom hold on to the door there. All your controls for turning this guy on are just inside of the unit. Before you ever turn it on though, you just want to hit this relief valve right there. If the tank were full, you'd get a little bit of water coming out. The unit is of course currently winterized, so we've got no water in here right now. So if we were to turn it on, especially with the electricity, you are immediately going to burn out that element. You got to make sure that it's full before you turn it on, just so you're not burning anything out. Closing it back up, you're just lining up those 2 bottom pins, press it into place, lock it back down with that keyway. Keeping in mind that the entirety of this unit is painted, you do just want to be kind of extra careful with this guy here, just because it will scratch over time, kind of regardless of what you do, but you want it to last as long as you can, right? Right here, you've got your furnace cover. So of course, exhaust your furnace right there. It does get hot. Again, just making sure that's not blocked off. Underneath it, you got a GFI protected outlet. It's reset on the right, test on the left, right? So if you ever have issues with the power out here, check that guy there. Right underneath it, just a bit more storage. Towards the back, again, just open storage. Inside of here is also where you'll find your access to your water pump. So if you're looking to winterize the unit yourself, it's just right in here, as well as your water filter housing. Fresh water tank drain is just that guy there. So if you have that closed off, which way it closes? There we go. That closes it off. That of course allows you to fill up your fresh water tank. To drain it out, you're just opening it up. And this right here is just kind of your selector for winterizing. So if you're to point it up, you can run your winterizing hose, run your antifreeze throughout the unit, or you close it off and just have it run from the water tank. Also, while we're in here, there's the Schrader valve for this side's air suspension. And then in the back, you get the other end of your storage compartments here. Inside of there, up on the right side, you're going to find a little light. Then kind of up from there, you're going to find your fresh water tank fill. So just pop that cap out of there, water hose sticks into there, turn on the water, fills up your fresh water tank. And then in the back of the unit, you can see you do have a hitch with a 7-pin wire hooked up. So if you're looking to tow something behind you, you can. And then straight up top, you'll see that rear view kind of observation camera. So now I'll make our way inside of the unit. The door is on a gas strut, so it's going to open up to 90 degrees and stay there for you. Inside of here, you got a little lock box. So if you've got anything precious to keep stored, right in there. This latch right there, if you undo that, pick it up, that's access to your batteries. So these batteries are just for the house, not for the truck. And kind of right off to the side here as well, you do also have access to some relays and fuses. So if you're having issues, you can kind of check in there. Then inside of here, you can see we do have that motion activated light. So as long as your batteries are turned on, right, so you can see with the batteries turned off, it doesn't work. That is of course your battery disconnect switch. Just automatic, as soon as it senses motion, it turns itself on. Little charge controller here, pretty straightforward. You can pretty well play around with that if you like. Then we've got your awning control here. So press and hold extend and your awning will make its way out. Once that awning's fully extended, we're just going to see a couple A flap come down, as well as the black the metal tube. Once you see that, you're going to want to stop. If you were to continue extending, it can actually wind itself up backwards, in which case your fabric will be underneath the tube, allowing it to then hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. So once we see that flap, we'll stop. There it is, and there's the tube, so we'll stop right there. Right beside that switch, we get your awning lights, as well as your porch lights. So I'm just going to turn those two guys on just so you can see what we're doing out here. Now if it were to start raining, the awning is of course going to be holding some water, so what you can do is grab either arm, front or rear. You're just going to pull straight down on it, and you can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. Now if you like that angle better, because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring it back in though, you just want to make sure these arms are back out straight and fully extended, just so you're not running the risk of bending them. As we come back inside, you can see your porch light as well as your awning light. And then we just press and hold or track. The awning will make its way back in. Again, you're just going to watch to make sure that your fabric does stay over top of the tube. And another thing to keep in mind with your awning is once it does catch a lot of wind, so once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour wind, you want to bring it back in, again, just so you're not running the risk of bending your arms. So down underneath that switch, we've got your leveling system. This is the power button there on the right. Sorry, we do need to have our ignition turned on. So you don't need the vehicle running. We're just going to make sure that this key is turned to the on position. And the parking brake as well, actually. Real quick up here on the right side, we've got your kitchen and living room lights, just so we can see what we're doing. And now, power button turns on. Pretty much all you're going to be doing is hitting auto level. That'll automatically level the unit. It's going to make me a liar right now, but there we go. So while it's going through its auto level procedure, you just want to make sure that you're either outside of the unit or at least staying extremely still, just because you can throw off the calibration. So there we go. Once you're done, you can pretty well just turn it off. Once you're done camping and ready to go again, you're just gonna be hitting the power button, hit retract, hit enter. It brings everything back up for you, and you're pretty well set to go. Opposite side from there, you're gonna find your fire extinguisher. So it's standard, pull the pin, point, and shoot. Kind of straight up the wall from there, you're gonna find your little accent light switch underneath the cabinet here, as well as some storage, of course, right atop of it. On the left side there, you will find your antenna outlets. That is, of course, hooked up. You got your Wi-Fi button, turning that on and off on the left side. And then on the right side, we got your satellite, or sorry, your antenna, turning that on and off. Underneath it, again, cable and satellite outlet, HDMI outlet, which is hooked into that TV. And power outlets, as well as your TV remotes here for you. Up top, you're gonna find your router. Across the front here, you do have little lights. Those are just on their own set of push buttons. And while we have our parking brake set and our ignition turned on, and we're done with the left side here, we'll go through our monitor panel. So driver's side rear light is exactly that. It's just a little light in the outside there. And now that we've got all of our stuff turned on there, we are going to press and hold out, and our slide will make its way out. So once that slide's fully extended, we're going to hear some whines, and that's pretty well it. Above from there, you got your water heater control. So like I said earlier, we do have it empty, so electric we're not going to use right now. Gas is right beside it. You turn that switch on, you get that little fault light letting you know that the ignition sequence will start. Once that sequence is started, that light's going to go out. It's going to try that 3 times. If after the 3rd try it hasn't fired up, at that point just off, back on to reset it. So stood right here, you can hear the click of the igniter and the whir of the flame. We know that tank is good. Water pump, just turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. Arctic pack is basically a bunch of heaters that are stuck onto all of your water tanks, just that if you are cold weather camping, say down to -5 or so, you can kind of keep them from freezing. Up top here, you got your generator control. So that guy there is just an hour meter. So if you got to keep track of all of your maintenance and whatnot, you're basically doing that by hours. Right beside it, you will see the generator start button. On the bottom here, it says prime. We're gonna press and hold that prime until we get a little red light over by this generator. Then we can release, press and hold start. You can hear it turn over, and she fires up. So once you're done, just press stop, turns itself off, simple as that. Monitor systems on the left side, so LPG is gonna be your liquid propane gas. So you can see we're currently full. For your battery, because we're plugged in right now, we're currently C for charging. G would be good, F is fair, L is low. Your fresh tank, as you fill that up, will go to 1/3, 2/3, and full. Same idea for your black and your gray. Just kind of the storage around here as well. Your dinette area, so you can see you do have these seat belts on this side here, so you can occupy that for travel. This binder here has all of your owner's manuals in it, any remotes, any keys, anything like that, you're gonna find right in there. This table does also swing down into a little bed. So, if I remember correctly, basically just pick up this end and kind of swings around. Now our cushions are in the way right now, but you get the idea. It kind of swings right down and through. You take your 2 back cushions, fill in the center, and you can kind of create your bed area. To bring it back up, we're just gonna lock in the little tabs back there. The binder's gonna be in the way now though. Lock in our little tabs, let it sit into place, and she sits there plain and simply. Up underneath, you also get a little light in the back corner there. There's also a little USB outlet. Storage up top. All of these are on anti-slams, so you can plop them down. They're not gonna slam on you. Last thing across the front here is just this kind of cushion right there. It does have a hard side on the bottom, soft side on top, hard side across the bottom here to kind of fill in that bed, and you get your ladder over there. Hook into here so you can hop on up. A little bit of storage, USB outlets in there as well. And then the TV, as you guess, just swings with the little locks being those tabs right here. Outlets for it are just right up on the wall. And then you'll see straight up above it, you do also have another push button light. This right here is a wireless charging pad. Just set your phone down on it, just starts charging for you. Up underneath here, we get the same sort of light on the right side and the left side for your hood range. More storage across the top here. Also, right above your sink, we've got your fire extinguisher, sorry, fire alarm. There we go. Sink cover is made of the same material as your countertop. Hot and cold water at the sink, of course. And we do also have the shower head feature there. Storage down under. Being mindful of your drains and your water lines, and then all this stuff here. So this wrench right here is going to be for that water filter housing, and this here of course is your water filter itself. The toilet paper dispenser, we don't install that simply because location is personal preference. It will just screw to the wall though. And then all of your drawers on anti-slams as well. Microwave right underneath here does have the kind of convection feature as well, so if you're looking to cook in here, you can. Stovetop cover, just bifolds on back, and you get the little knobs there. You turn on the light, press the knob in, that turns on the igniter, and then as I'll show you right here, if you turn that light off, the igniter stops as well. There you have it. Now, in keeping in mind that this unit does not have a range vent, you of course can kind of build up some fumes with the propane stove. So we do have the roof vent here as well. Just that little lock there, you pull that knob down, and then you can turn to open it up. And then in the back corner, you get the little fan switch there. Speeds 1, 2, 3, and 4. There is a max air cover installed up there as well. So if you're looking to keep this open during travel or rain, you can do so. And then to your fridge here, got that little travel latch, just swing that open, pop it on open, get your temperature selections just right in the kind of top corner here. Cool, cold, and coldest. Freezer right up top. And then kind of your active Susie pantry area. Down underneath it, you'll find your power converter. Press it on the right side and it pops on open. All of your breakers on the top there. Whenever a breaker breaks, it sits in the middle, so just turn it off and then back on to reset it. And all of your fuses on the left side there. The pocket door just slides, however it does latch both open and closed, so just make sure you pull that down before sliding it. All these little black vents throughout the unit, those are all for your furnace ducting. They're not going to do cooling, just heating. In the bathroom, you get your little light, same sort of sink cover that you had in the kitchen, hot and cold water, of course. And your mirrors, also your medicine cabinet. Again, some storage underneath. Again, mindful of your drains and your water lines. And then to the bathroom, get your shower there, as well as your fan. The ceiling vent here, just got that dial to open it up. And as you saw, switch right up on the wall here. Your shower, the door just slides and runs into itself. There we go. Okay, so you get the stainless head and hose, hot and cold water, of course, and another little motion sensing light in here. toilet flips on open. You get your flusher on the right side. Kind of your towel rack on the back of the door. And in the bedroom, right around the corner, you get your light switch. You also find your thermostat here. So mode is going to turn it on. It's going to start at fan speed. You're just going to kind of select whatever your fan speed you want, low and high, of course. After that, we'll come into cool. Temp selection just for the arrows here. That'll turn on your air conditioner. With the air conditioner running, you've got two different options basically. You can have this lever here closed, in which case we're using all of our ceiling ducting to move our air, or you can open it up and it just dumps all of its air into the living room here. So when you first get out to your campsite, you want that open, cool off the living area as quickly as possible, then you can close it off and start moving the air throughout. Mode again after cool, we'll come into heat pump. I don't believe that is installed because we do have a dedicated furnace. So furnace will be select your temperature with your arrows, and we'll fire up the furnace, and then as I pointed out earlier, get all the little black portals for your outlets. Mode again after furnace, just turns everything off. Closet space here does have the automatic light there, so kind of once you open the door, it's turning on for you. That little portal there is just access to your shower taps. Bit more storage. TV also swings out, so if you're looking to hide like a PlayStation or an Xbox or DVD player right back there, you can. Same sort of light over here. Blinds throughout the unit, all slow rise, so you just kind of pull them where you like them, snap them, and they run back up. We pick up the foot of your bed. You do have this small little access bin or storage bin in the back here. And then these lights, just on their own little touch. So you got a night light there as well as the main light. You do also have USB charging there. And really, that is about it for this unit. So if you've got any other questions on it, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.